cut through the marble-floored lobby like breaking glass, sharp, precise, practiced. Assistants froze mid-step. A security guard pretended to check his earpiece. Someone dropped a tablet, the clatter echoing far too loudly. "I said I want it fixed now," the woman snapped, heels planted, shoulders rigid. "Not tomorrow. Not after another meeting. Now." No one answered her. They rarely did, not directly. They waited for the storm to pass or for someone else to absorb it. Ethan Carter paused just inside the revolving doors, one hand gripping the strap of his worn messenger bag. He took in the scene without judgment, the tension in the air, the woman at the center of it, the way everyone leaned away as if anger were contagious. He glanced at the time on his phone. He had 15 minutes before he needed to pick up Lily from school. 15 minutes to fix a malfunctioning conference room projector, at least that's what the maintenance request said. He exhaled slowly and stepped forward. The billionaire, though he didn't know that yet, was mid-rant. "If you can't handle a simple request, why are you even here?" Ethan stopped a few feet away, waited. Not because he was afraid to interrupt, but because he understood something most people forgot when tempers flared: being heard often mattered more than being right. She turned, eyes blazing, clearly expecting another apology or excuse. Instead, she found a tall man in a faded jacket, calm eyes, and the kind of stillness that didn't challenge her but didn't retreat either. Ethan said evenly, his voice low enough that she had to pause to hear it. "I'm here about the projector." Her jaw tightened. "Good. Then maybe you can explain why it's taken 3 people and 40 minutes to do nothing." "I can try," he replied, unruffled. "But first, can you tell me what you need it to do right now?" The question landed oddly in the charged space. Not why she was angry. Not who was at fault. Just what she needed. She blinked once, clearly irritated by the redirection. "I have a board call in 20 minutes. I need the screen to mirror my laptop." That's it. Ethan nodded, as if she'd just asked for directions. "Okay. Let's take a look." He moved past her without asking permission, knelt by the console, and began unplugging cables with careful hands. The assistants exchanged looks. No one spoke. She watched him, arms crossed, anger simmering but momentarily contained. "You're awfully calm for someone walking into this mess." Ethan smiled faintly. "I have kids." That surprised her enough to draw a short, incredulous laugh. "Plural." "Just one," he corrected. "But she's enough." Something in his tone, not humor, not pride, just fact, made her look at him more closely. "Doesn't that get exhausting?" she asked, almost reflexively. "Some days," he said, checking a port. "But yelling doesn't usually make things better. It just makes people stop listening." The words weren't sharp. They weren't accusatory. They were gentle. And somehow, they cut through the tension far more effectively than any raised voice could have. She straightened, lips parting as if to snap back, then stopping. Around them, the lobby seemed to breathe again. "You think I don't know that," she said quietly. Ethan finally looked up at her, really looked. "I think you know it. I also think you're under a lot of pressure, and this is one thing you can't afford to go wrong today." Her expression shifted, something vulnerable flickering beneath the steel. It was gone almost immediately, replaced by her usual composure. "You're observant for a repairman." "Single dad," he repeated. "You learn to notice moods quickly." He reconnected the final cable and stood. "Try it now." She opened her laptop, tapped a key. The screen behind them lit up instantly. A collective exhale rippled through the room. One assistant mouthed "thank you." Another smiled, relief written across her face. The woman, Clara, her badge red, stared at the working screen, then back at Ethan. "That's it. That's it." She hesitated, then asked, "Why didn't anyone else see that?" "They were probably worried about upsetting you," he said, shrugging. "Hard to think clearly when you're afraid." The word hung there. Afraid. Her shoulders dropped a fraction. "I don't want them afraid of me." Ethan slung his bag over his shoulder. "Then maybe start with this, tell them you appreciate their effort, even when things go wrong. She scoffed lightly. You make it sound simple. It is, he said. Simple doesn't mean easy. Silence followed, not awkward, just thoughtful. Clara cleared her throat. What's your name? Ethan. Ethan, she repeated, tasting it. Thank you. For fixing the projector, and for saying what you did. He nodded once. Glad it helped. As he turned to leave, she called after him. Wait. He stopped. You said you have to pick up your daughter. Yes. She glanced at her watch. I won't keep you. But, she paused, choosing her words carefully. Not everyone would have handled this the way you did. He smiled, softer this time. Not everyone has to explain to a 6-year-old why shouting hurts. Something in her eyes warmed. You're a good father. I try, he said simply, and walked out before she could say anything else. Behind him, Clara stood very still, the echo of his calm words louder than any yelling she'd ever done.